Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of Bad Beast Barbecue. Hey, today we pulled out our London Sunshine Kamado Grill, and we're going to do some spare ribs, okay? And we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to separate our spare ribs. We're not going to do an entire slab. We're going to separate them into individual bones. That way we get flavor all the way around the rib and not just on the top and the bottom. We've already removed the silver skin. We've already separated our ribs, and we're just ready to go ahead and season them up, okay? We're gonna pour a little beer over top of our ribs to act as a binder, okay? And then the rub that we're using today is a beer-based rub, okay? And so you'll see all that when we go ahead and season our ribs, all right? So no further talking. Let's let this bad boy come up to temperature and we get some ribs on. Don't go nowhere. All right, guys, so the beer infused rubs that we're going to be using today are from Spiceology. Okay, these are the Derek Wolf cans of beer infused rubs. Now there's 6 different flavors in this 6-pack here, which is pretty cool. I mean, beer infused rubs coming in a 6-pack of beer shaped cans for your spices. I guess that's worth picking up just for the novelty of it, okay? But this whole 6-pack here, now they're a little expensive. It's like 88 bucks. So these things run about $20 or so when you buy them separately, okay? But when you buy them together, you get them for like 88 bucks for all 6 flavors. And the flavors that come in this pack are cherry chipotle ale, honey mustard IPA, hickory peach porter, imperial coffee stout, jalapeno lime pilsner, and mesquite peppercorn lager, okay? So we're going to be using 2 of these today. We're going to season half of our ribs with one and half with the other one. We're going to be using the cherry chipotle ale today, and we're going to be using the mesquite peppercorn lager today, okay? So let's go ahead and get our ribs prepped and get them ready for the smoking. All right, guys, here's our container of ribs, and as you can see, we have separated them out like I mentioned before. Plus we got some of the rib tips in here also. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to, instead of using mustard, we're going to be using some Blue Moon Belgium ale to act as a binder and to infuse a little bit more beer flavor into our spare ribs, okay? So we're going to pour this all over, and we're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes, not too long, just enough to impart a little bit of beer flavor into our ribs to kind of complement the Spiceology beer infused rubs that we have. All right, let's give it about 15 and we'll be right back to spread some dust. All right, guys, we got 2 pans here, and our spare ribs have been in the beer for about 15-20 minutes. So we're going to just split them up in between the 2 pans. That way each one of them will get a different rub. So what's really cool about these cans, and like I said, this is the mesquite rub that we're going to be using, and this is the cherry chipotle rub that we're going to be using. It's just like a beer can. Check it out. Got the little tab at the top. And then there's some big pieces of seasoning, okay? So this should give some ample flavor. So we're going to do the mesquite rub on this bunch here. Okay, we're going to let that one sit there and get some moisture. Change gloves and jump on the chipotle one, the cherry chipotle. Now see, this one's more of a finer powder, so this one will stick better than the mesquite one. Ooh, that one's got a unique flavor to it. Oh, I like that. It's a little sweet. It's got a little heat. All right, we'll let these get happy and we'll get these put on the London Sunshine. All right, we're gonna set up our diffuser that we made. So we got a grill grate here, covered with foil. We're gonna put that down on the second level, and then we're gonna put our grill grates up here. All right, as soon as this gets up to temp, we will be rocking and rolling. Okay guys, so you saw we got our ribs on the London Sunshine Kamado smoker, and it was a little cramped, okay? I think if I hadn't tried to put the rib tips on there along with the bones of the spare ribs, then we'd have had plenty of room, okay? Could have saved the rib tips for another time. Yes, you can see I had a Maverick on here to try to help me monitor the internal temperature at grate level of the London Sunshine, because it has a analog thermometer here at the top, which is not always accurate. So I'm trusting the Maverick to give me the temperature at grate level, okay? We didn't put any wood in our cook today, and we're not using lump charcoal like we normally use. We are using Kingsford Blue. I want to see if the Kingsford Blue gives me a more steady cook than the lump charcoal, because lump charcoal tends to burn hotter and a little bit more erratic, okay? So, all right, that's about it. We'll come back and check these bad boys in about an hour and a half, and we'll see what we have, okay? So don't go nowhere. All right, guys, so the London Sunshine Kamado has been carrying a temperature about 249 to 250 degrees most of the cook. We'll go ahead and temp these out. These been on for about 3.5 hours. It looks like most of the ribs are at 199 or 200 degrees or above. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these off. We're gonna go ahead and have a taste test. The probe goes in pretty smooth, so they seem to be pretty tender. All right, guys, so we're done with our cook. We're gonna go ahead and have our taste test now. I'll give you my final thoughts on the two rubs, and how the ribs came out, and how the London Sunshine performed. So the first one we're gonna try is the cherry. It's got a nice red color to it, like I was hoping. Smells fantastic. All right, let's have a taste. Now this rub is really, really good. It gives a nice color to the rib, has a nice flavor to it, has a nice sweetness to it, okay? So that cherry rub is definitely a really good rub out of that 6-pack. So that's going to be a go-to in the future. I like that very, very much, okay? If I had to give this cherry rub on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it about an 8.5 out of 10, which is good. The only thing I can see it may need is a little bit of cumin or a little bit more pepper in order to give it a little bit of spice and give it a little bit of earthiness. But all in all, that's a really good rib. I mean, really good rub, okay? All right, let's go ahead and try the mesquite one. Wow. Wow, now that one's got a lot of pepper in it also. The granules of the rub are really large. Reminds me of kind of a McCormick type rub with its flavor. It's peppery, the peppery flavor of it, the large granules. I think instead of on ribs, I think that rub would be fantastic on a big piece of meat like brisket or even a pork butt. But I think that would be fantastic on a brisket. for sure. Okay. It's got a lot of pepper to it. I mean, so if you like peppery rubs, that's definitely a way to go on this one. If I had to rate this one would probably be an 8, 8.5 also out of 10. Fantastic rub. Doesn't need any salt, any additional stuff to it. And I like large pepper seasoning. So actually, I'll go ahead and rate this one a 9. I definitely will use this again on larger cuts of meat. Okay. Well, that's it. I'll put the link in the description box on Amazon if you're interested in getting this 6-pack of rubs from Spiceology. We're going to do some other videos in the next week or so, testing out the flavor of the other rubs that came in the 6-pack. And once again, the London Sunshine performed great. I put a secondary grate covered with foil in it to act as a diffuser, and it worked out just fine. Okay, the Kingsford charcoal took a little longer to get hot or get up to temperature. It took a little longer than lump charcoal did, but once it did get up to temperature, to me it was easier to stabilize the Kingsford in here than lump charcoal, because like I say, sometimes lump charcoal burns irregularly. So the Kingsford performed really well inside of the London Sunshine Kamado. Okay, if you're interested in getting one of these, they're still offering the 10% off. If you go to the London Sunshine website and use our promo code Bad Beats Barbecue, you'll get 10% off of anything that you buy from the London Sunshine Kamado website. Okay, and that's about it. So hey, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you in the next video. And like we always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if it's fire, then damn it, there just might be a barbecue there. Hey, as always, we'll see you guys around the smoker.